In order to see the materials in Google Classroom, you're going to type in your account associated with the Arcan Schools Google Classroom. Many of you have your first initial last name at arcanschools.org. If you've forgotten your password, you can send me an email and I'll provide it to you. If you are using the same account that you use with your own students, it will be on the list. We're looking at the gallery walk entry, and you'll notice here is all the word processing skills, the gallery walk questions, the link to the gallery walk video on the teaching channel, and the word processing rubric that everyone can open. If I click the open choice there, it provides you, in this case, with the same information. We'll go to the word processing rubric. In this document, we have discrete skills, so identify letter keys. If a student is exceeding in this, the student will receive 4 points, and that means the student locates all the necessary letters consistently and independently. If a student is satisfactory in this or secure in the lower grades report card, the student locates the necessary letters with some teacher guidance. If a student has improvement needed or is developing the task, the teacher is pointing out the necessary letters while the student types it. That would be 2 points on the rubric. And unsatisfactory or beginning stages, the teacher points out necessary letters, but the student still does not type the letters. That's 1 point on the rubric. Column F says what age the student should master this skill by. So this would be at the end of grade kindergarten. And what content area is it in our rubric? That would be the keyboarding content area. So students should be able to identify letters on a keyboard by the end of kindergarten. Spacing between words, no errors, 4 points. Between 1 and 2 errors, 3 points. Between 3 and 5 errors, 2 points. More than 5 errors, 1 point, and again, a keyboarding skill by the end of grade kindergarten. Now, there are not skills for every single grade level. We just created our technology curriculum map by the end of June of 2016. So if you're working with students in the 6th grade and you feel that a skill is missing, it's just an open worksheet that anybody can use. You can drag over the row numbers, choose insert, and say where you'd like that. So I'd like to insert 2 rows above, and then you can type in your new skill. How will you deem 4 points? How will you deem 3 points? So in this way, if you're looking to create a rubric for the first time for word processing skills, you can combine as many of these entries as you would choose in a word processing rubric. If you go to the About page, you can click on the Google Drive folder for the Tech Integration Specialists. It is the same effect you will get if you type drive.google.com and go to the Classroom folder and then the Tech Integration Specialist folder. If you go to Shared with Me, you will also see a variety of files and folders that I've been sharing with you over the last few months. Remember, the arcantech.weebly.com website contains the materials that you can access from the Resources tab. For the last 3 years, I'm going to the 2016-17 workshops. This is a link to my slides that you can download and a link to the handout. From this space, you can take a look at all the word processing examples. From this space, you can take a look at all the word processing examples that were pasted up on the gallery walk. And here is an example of a 6th grade word processing rubric. Some of these skills may seem very basic, but if you have a student transfer into the school for the first time, they may not have received all the training you've given your students in the earlier grades. So you'll see that there are multiple elements. The 4 points is exceeds expectations, 3 points for meets expectation. And so again, you can modify a rubric to provide you with the most meaningful way of determining how a student did with their work. A language arts teacher, a science teacher, a math teacher might include just 1 or 2 items. So for instance, if you've noticed that this particular class has a hard time understanding how to do double spacing, you might want to suggest that the classroom teacher includes just a single entry in their rubric for word processing and double spacing, so that paragraphs are double spaced using the paragraph menu with 1 return between paragraphs. Sometimes students will do paragraph spacing correctly, but they'll press return twice between paragraphs. Some students will forget to double space, and some students will press return at the end of each line.